Jackery packs a lot of power and features into their Explorer 300. Stay tuned for a look at one of their finest microstations. Hi, I'm Larry from Under the Median. The Jackery 300 gives you a lot of power literally at your fingertips in this nice, lightweight, portable unit. We've been asked by several viewers to review the Jackery power station. So when the company contacted us and asked us if we would like to take a look at their Explorer 300, we couldn't have been any more delighted. They sent us this unit plus the 100-watt solar panel for review. If you need power on the go for your laptop, your phone, any USB-powered device, or anything that uses less than 300 watts, this is the power station for you. Jackery is the leading brand in power stations, and they're very well established. They've actually been around since 2012. They provide a lot of expertise in the engineering and design of their power stations. Let's take a look at it out of the box and see what comes with it. This is always fun. It kind of reminds me of Christmas. So the package isn't that large. It's a foot high by about 7 inches deep and about 11 inches wide. So this is really a very compact power station. It has a lot of specs on the outside of the box. I'll take some photos to kind of show you some close-ups of what those look like. The first thing out of the box is this really nice carrying case. And inside it has the power adapter. This is the 110 volt adapter, and this is their 12 volt car cord. Look how well made that is. That's got some really heavy duty wiring. It has their branding right on it. Very heavy. This is not cheap stuff. And then inside the packet is their owner's manual. This gives you all the specs and tells you exactly how to operate it. So let's pull the Jackery out of the box here, and there it is, nice and small, and it's very lightweight. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this button right here that says display, and that powers on the display, and that's going to let me know what the state of charge is on the battery, and it's giving a reading of 48%. So the very next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take it outside and I'm going to solar charge it. But let's first take a look at the solar panels. Now Jackery sent me their set of SolarSaga 100. This is a 100 watt panel. It's specifically designed to be used with the Explorer 300. So I'm just going to take the tape seal off of that. And we'll pull this out of the box and take it out of the wrapper. And there is the solar panel. This is a magnetic catch on the top. You just pull those apart and it sets up in about 20 seconds outside. There's a pouch here, and inside the pouch we have their connecting cable. Now they have two adapters on the end piece here. One is an adapter that will fit into the Explorer 300, and another one will adapt it to the sizes of their other power stations. There's also a way to charge with USB-C and USB-A directly from the panels. That is really awesome. And then in here, of course, is the owner's manual for the solar panels. As soon as I got the unit out of the box, I went ahead and charged it up using the solar panels. Let's take a look at that process. Here is the Jackery all plugged in to the 100 watt SolarSaga solar panels. That is charging at a rate of 72 watts. So we'll see how long that takes it to charge. I set it out, it's 2 o'clock, and we'll see how long it takes to charge up the Jackery. So here it is, just about 3 o'clock, and the Jackery's been out here for just 1 hour, and it's already at 72%. It's charging at about 83 watts. This thing is really working good, and we don't have full sun. The sun is actually behind some clouds here. The Jackery 300 has now reached 100%, and it is just about 5 o'clock. So it's done really well with the SolarSaga 100s, even though we got partial sun under these clouds. Right now, I've got the Jackery running the lights behind me here. So if I turn off the AC power, that light goes out. And then I also have it charging 3 phones. This is my main phone right here, and there's a couple other phones. And oh, I guess this is a tablet. So I got 2 phones and a tablet hooked up. So my total rate of power consumption right now is 28 watts. I like the way the LCD panel works. This is visible all the time that the unit is on. But if you want to see it in a darker room, it does have a backlight which lights it up so that you can get a little better visual on that. Let's briefly compare a power station to a gas generator. Now granted, this isn't going to supply the amount of power that a gas generator will give you, but it does have some advantages over a gas generator. Number one, it's extremely quiet. It makes no noise at all, where a gas generator can run at 70, 80 decibels. The other thing is that it doesn't use any fuel. So if you're charging it just off of the sun, it is absolutely free to operate. It is very lightweight and portable, which you can't exactly say about a gas generator. And it uses no emissions, so it's not going to pollute the air in any way. In addition, there's no maintenance to a portable power station. You don't have to add oil to it. You don't have to have the engine overhauled after so many hours. You don't have to add gasoline to it. You don't have to change the air filter like you do on a gas generator. So many advantages on this. Also, if you lose power, you need it very quickly for lighting or maybe for your modem to get some information from the internet. This is so easy to just grab and hook up. Let's now look at the features of the Jackery Explorer 300. First off, as you can tell, it's very small. It is 9 inches wide, 5 inches deep, and 8 inches tall. So it's very small. I equate it to kind of like a small lunch cooler. It's super lightweight. It actually weighs just slightly over 7 pounds. So this makes it very portable for carrying around. I think it's a great unit for outdoor adventures. If you're used to going out camping and you need some lighting, or if you need some charge power for your computer or your phone, this is a great complement to that. If you do, let's say, outdoor photography, this can charge your digital camera batteries, or maybe your drone if you're into aerial photography. So many uses for such a little device. And if you have the solar panels with you, you can charge this in the morning and have it ready for your afternoon adventures. The unit is powered by a 293 watt-hour lithium-ion battery. This battery is good for 800 cycles. That means that after 800 cycles, it's not going to be dead. It's going to be maybe down to 80% capacity, so you still have capacity left on it. So this unit can last you a very long time. The Jackery Explorer 300 can be charged. It takes about 4.5 hours to charge this from the cord that came with it. It'll charge, like I said, at about a rate of 75 watts. As it gets toward the end of the charge time, though, it does slow down as the battery saturates with power. That's normal. The other way that it can charge, of course, is with the car cord. Now, if you're traveling, this is really handy to put this on charge while you're driving between locations. It will take a full 5 hours to charge off the cord. And I have a demonstration of that. I hooked it up into my car to see how many watts this would actually put into the unit. And I was very amazed. I think it's very comparable to how much it puts in when you're charging it from 110 volts. I'm sitting in the car and I'm plugging the 12-volt adapter into the car's cigarette lighter system. And then over here at the Jackery, I'm going to plug the other end of it into the input. And we'll see at what rate it charges. So it is charging at 80 watts. That is pretty good. Now, another way that you can charge this, and this is kind of unique, not all the power stations will do this, but this has a USB-C input and output port. That's the one that I have my phone plugged in at the moment. You can actually charge this with USB-C. So I went ahead and did that. Let's take a look at how that works. I'm going to try the Jackery Explorer 300 with a USB-C cable. Now I've got a 100 watt Apple charger going into it. Let's see what this one does. This is a little heavier duty, so I'm going to plug that in right there, and let's see how many watts the Jackery will take on just the C alone. This will give it the maximum potential. So it went up to 61 watts. So now the nice thing about this unit is that you can add the 110 volt power charger that came with it, or you can add solar. Either one you can plug into the 8mm port here, the input, and that will add that on in addition to what you've got there. So it was charging at 75 watts just with the Jackery power adapter alone, but with the C adapter additional, now we're charging at 138 or 137 watts. So this shouldn't take very long to charge it. It is now 11:50. We got 38% charge on it. Let's see how long it takes to fill up the Jackery. So it's 1:44, and how is the Jackery doing? We have it charging off of this 100 watt Apple USB-C cord going into that, and we also have it charging off of the Jackery supplied adapter, and it was getting a total wattage input of about 137, 138 watts. It's now finishing up, and when it finishes up, then the wattage goes way down. So it's at 16 watts now, just after 2 o'clock, and there's the Jackery 100% charged. So I can unplug that. The way that you know that the unit is completely charged is on the display. It will say 100%, and it automatically shuts off when it reaches full capacity. The unit has several buttons on the front that turn on separate features. The first one is, of course, the display button. This turns on the backlighting of the LCD display. To the left of the USB ports, you have a button here that turns those on and off for the USB-C and USB-A ports. There are 2 USB-A ports. For the AC, just to the left of the outlets, you have a button that turns on to that function. And then you have a button here for the 12-volt function. This has a cigarette adapter receptacle that you can plug any 12-volt device that uses less than 10 amps. So anything that you would plug into your car, cigarette lighter, you can plug in here. Let's just give this a try out and see how it works. I'm going to plug this little amber emergency light in. When I turn that on, there it activates. So that's running off of the 12 volts from the unit. On the AC circuits, if you're not using the AC part of the unit, you want to make sure that this is shut off so that you're not using power from the inverter out of the batteries, because it will use a little bit of power in order to operate that inverter. Remember that this unit will only supply 300 watts of power on AC, so you don't want to go over that. If you do, it will shut down. And then all you have to do then is unplug that device, turn it off, and turn it back on again, and then it resets. Best to use only items that you know are less than 300 watts total for those 2 outlets. The Jackery is equipped with a pure sine wave inverter, and that delivers the same kind of AC that your wall plugs will supply. It's a very nice S-curve that will power any of your sensitive devices without any problem at all. It can supply power to fans, motors, your computer. While power is being used, the unit always shows you exactly how much power is being drawn from the unit. You can take that and divide that into 85% of the 293 watts to give you the amount of time that it takes to run it. Now, 0.85 of 295, that's the watt hours of the battery, comes out to about 255. So you can take the amount that you're using and divide that into 255, and that will tell you exactly how long that you have to supply power to that device. To charge the two phones, the tablet, and to run the light behind me, it's drawing about 29 watts. So if we take 255 and we divide that by 29 watts, we get 8.7 hours. So that will actually run it 8.7 hours. The Jackery Explorer 300 also supports pass-through charging. Now, what is pass-through charging? That means that while you have this unit on charge, let's say you have it outside hooked up to solar panels, you can plug something into it to run. The idea there is that what you're running off of it is passing through from the solar panels to that device. Now, Jackery doesn't really recommend that for this device. It will shorten the life of the batteries, according to their owner's manual. And I think this is more true on AC than it is on DC. I think DC is a little bit safer to run with the pass-through. Generally speaking, I don't do a lot of pass-through work with these. I go ahead and set them outside, let them charge up completely, bring them in, and then use them that way. I like to use solar charging the most with these units because it's free power. Why not use it? Let's talk about what the Explorer 300 can power. I would use this for powering your lighter loads. It'll power LCD lights. You can recharge lanterns with it. Anything that's rechargeable. If you have USB powered fans, this is great for charging those batteries. During short-term power outages, this can be very handy for powering those items that you might need for getting information, especially if you have bad storms coming in. You might want to be able to tune in the weather channel or turn on your modem so you can be connected to the internet. One of the things that this will supply power to, it's kind of amazing, it will actually supply power to LCD TVs. I ran it off of our 32-inch TV for a couple of evenings while I watched 2 full-length movies on it. The device has many protections put in place. It has under voltage, over voltage, over current, short circuit protection, over temperature, and overcharging voltage protection. If you're looking for a compact, well-designed, well-built 300-watt power station and 100-watt solar panel, the Jackery Explorer 300 would be a great system for you. I can highly recommend it. If you want more information about the Jackery Explorer 300 and the SolarSaga 100-watt panel that's behind me, click on the link below. That'll get you right to their website.